Today's Friday, and you know what that means. Let's do a little bit of sewing chat. I'm Madi with FRIDAYSEWS, and thanks for hanging with me today, you all. So today's another Friday Sews, which is the brainchild of Jen over at Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and you can catch her information in the description box below. But during these Friday Sews, I'd like to tell you about what's been on my table, some of the things that I've been up to in the sewing world, and then what I have coming up. And to be honest, I haven't really had much on my sewing table this week. I did, however, buy a bunch of sewing supplies, and I can't wait to show you. Let's get into it. I really wasn't lying to you when I said that there really hasn't been anything on my sewing table lately. In fact, I think the last thing that I actually made was that outfit for my goddaughter. And I did give it to her. She didn't care. That's okay though. She didn't hurt my feelings. I'm just waiting for some really nice pictures from her mommy and daddy. Hint, hint. Now for the exciting stuff. So I've actually placed an order with Wawak. I'm gonna have to give him a call and just listen in when they answer the phone because I have no idea how to pronounce their name. Anyways, it doesn't matter because I really do like ordering my sewing supplies from them. I mean, my experience with them has been amazing. Their prices are practically unbeatable and their shipping is lightning fast. So I can't knock it. This time around, I did order a bunch of things that I was actually running out of and some stuff that I wanted to try. So let me just show it to you. All right, inside that box is actually these two. So I guess let's just start with the bag. I got a bunch of thread, and actually this is one of the things that prompted my having to place the order. I ran out of black and white thread, and actually looking at this, it looks like I kind of got a bit of an ivory colored thread. It doesn't matter, it'll still work out fine for me. So I got the black, the white, and then I also got blue and fuchsia. It's interesting, I didn't realize how much I've actually been sewing with these two colors until I ran out of it and just couldn't find anything that was even close in my thread stash. So I got all of these and they were about $3 each, and there's like 1,000 yards on this. 1,093 yards. So great deal on those. And this other thing was actually much needed because I was this close to running over to Joann's and paying twice as much for it. And it's my actual machine needles that I use. And in particular, it's for stretchy materials. So the stretch and the jersey needles is what I needed. So I basically stocked up on all of that. I do typically get the Schmetz needles. However, I noticed that they had this Oregon brand one that a couple of other people use. And they come in little packages like this. These Oregon packs actually have 10 needles in them. Compare that to the Schmetz that only gives you 5. And I mean, it was a significant cost difference if you ask me. So I am really looking forward to using them. And actually, I did stock up on the size needles that I use in my serger and my cover stitch. There's 5 needles right there that I have to always have in my machine. So when one goes, I tend to replace them all. So these things are all gonna get some good use. Price-wise, I think the most that I paid for a pack of the Schmetz was $3.55, and the 10-pack for the Oregon ones came in at just over $4. So that gives you an idea for pricing. You all, one of the things that's been really driving me kind of nuts lately when I've been sewing is all of my frickin' bent pins. And typically I like to take one out and put it back, but I found that I'm kind of getting low. So I went ahead and I bought some more of the extra fine glass head pins that I like to use. And really the reason why I like to use glass head pins is because you can just iron right over them and they're not going to melt like the plastic ones. So I stocked up on more of that. I'm going to replace all of the older ones and not even bother picking through them. And then I was inspired by Jen over at Today in Jen's Sewing Room. You know her? To get a whole bunch of seam rippers. You all, these things go dull so quickly. I somehow managed to break them, and there's never ever one where I need it to be. So I decided that I was gonna get a whole bunch of them. So I got 3 of these, and these were all relatively inexpensive. I think they were actually running a sale on these when I did actually finally hit the purchase button. And so they were 65 cents each, and then I think they gave me one for free, which is super awesome. I got this one, which came in at roughly $5, but it's like a super duper ergonomic. It's an ergonomic one, and it's got this like plastic that doesn't really allow for anything to slip. So I'll try that one out. Sure, why not? And then I also got this clover seam ripper one here. The one thing that doesn't excite me about this one is that it doesn't have a lid. I mean, it has this little sleevey thing that you can put the seam ripper back into. I don't like that. No, I don't. I've also started running out of my invisible zippers, and so I've been matching up some like funky colors lately, which, I mean, they're invisible zippers, it's fine, but still, I decided that I needed some more. So I did go ahead and order a bunch of different colors. Typically, when I buy invisible zippers from them, I like to get their variety packs because they give you a whole bunch of colors, no problem. Unfortunately, it just wasn't available this time. Just decided to buy a bunch of really long invisible zippers so that way I can put them into dresses. I can really use them for whatever I want and then just cut them to the size that I need them to be. So these will definitely come in handy. Oh yeah, those invisible zippers were 89 cents each. And you all, I finally got myself a couple of little snips. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of felt like these were one of the things that I never really quite needed because I could always just use my regular scissors while I'm at the sewing machine or just, needed to clip a little bit of thread or something somewhere. But I did notice that I'm not quite able to get in close enough to snip away as much thread as I would like to with my scissors. So hopefully these will solve that problem. And actually these look like they're pretty well oiled. I mean, I can see the oil on them, so I guess I'll just keep them in this little plastic container. I have no idea how much these cost, but I remember they were so cheap. I was like, well, let me get 2. I also got myself some fusible interfacing. And this one's actually 1 inch wide by 100 yards. You all, I had no idea there was 100 yards in this thing. It was $10 and I don't know what I was expecting, but it sure wasn't all of this. The reason why I got this is because I found myself cutting little strips of my interfacing to actually place on different parts of my patterns that I want to stabilize, like zipper bags, things like that. And so I just thought that something like this would make it a lot easier to do that. It's a lot quicker, right? This really does feel like a lot of it though. I mean, it's like, I can feel the little glue on the one side. I have a feeling I'm gonna have this forever. And you all are about to laugh at me, I swear, because the one thing that I'm most excited about and actually spent the most money on in this entire box, this was about $20. Let me just show you. You're gonna crack up. Lint roller and a whole bunch of refills, you all. I mean, okay, look, here's the thing. I have a cat, a super fuzzy little cat, and his fur gets everywhere. It just like kind of floats through the air and like attaches to you like, so, like gotta use it. And on top of that, we also have a dog. I decided to pick this up because, well, refillable, but also this handle is pretty sturdy. When I was looking at it online, I thought, oh, that looks much better than, all the cheap little dollar store ones that I've been getting. And it really does feel substantial. It's a lint roller. Oh, you all have permission to get on me if you see me coming up in here looking a little furry. Before I actually placed this order for all of these lint rollers, I did pop over to Amazon to do a little bit of price comparing, and they had half the number of rollers for the same exact price. So I just kind of thought, let's just go in and buy up all the lint rollers possible. Going through all of the sewing supplies that I bought is actually it was actually the funnest part of this week. I know that sewing supplies may not necessarily be the most exciting thing in the world, but if you need to stock up on sewing supplies and you felt like this video was helpful, you might actually want to check out the last Wawak video that I did over here, where I did some serious price comparisons between different stores. And truly, until next time, I sincerely hope that you find joy and have a wonderful day. I'll catch you all on Sunday.